Competitions are an exciting part of owning a horse, but proper safety and training are critical. Today we're talking to Michelle Calsum. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now you're a horse trainer.
That's right.
Now tell me, what type of background do you have in training?
Actually, I started training with my father. He was a trainer when I was a kid growing up, and he's now a professional farrier, so it kind of runs in the family. My mom also trained.
So what type of training do you do?
I train eventing horses.
What does that mean?
Eventing was designed by the military to test war horses. There's 3 phases. The obedience phase was the phase used to test the horse's obedience. It's called dressage in the eventers, and that was to test the horse's ability to behave and ride in parade and show off for the generals. Right. The second phase is the endurance phase, called the cross-country phase for eventers, and it was to prove the horses could be good war animals and chase the enemy wherever the enemy went. And the third phase is called the stadium jumping, and it was a soundness check for the warring horses to make sure that they could actually go to battle more than one day in a row.
Now, if you can you walk me through the training process?
Well, after the student acquires a good balance and the horse is acclimated to actually being ridden, then we start with poles on the ground where we teach the horse not to change his rhythm or his tempo, and we start trotting over poles, just laying on the ground, and then we'll build a cross rail and let them jump both directions over that and start introducing them to very low, pleasant obstacles to encourage them to want to actually jump. And as their balance gets better and they're showing interest in it, then we start changing the jumps and making them more difficult and adding more jumps closer together and things like that.
So the cross rails are used at the beginning when you're training them?
The actual cross effect kind of tunnels the horse into the center of the jump and encourages them to jump at the center and the lowest part of the jump. So the rider maybe doesn't have to be quite as accurate in their riding, and it encourages the horse to be correct in his form over the fence.
All right. Now, how young can the students be when they start training?
Students can be very young. As a matter of fact, there's a class called Lead Line where usually a parent or a trainer and a student, often as young as 5 or even 4, will be led into the show ring and shown to the judge. And then the next class after that would be considered like a walk-trot class where the student and the horse are alone together, but they only walk and trot, and then they build on that.
Are there certain types of horses that are eventer horses?
The horse needs to be athletic, but there are many, many breeds that are considered athletic. The low-level events are fairly simple for any type of horse. As you get up into the higher eventing, the thoroughbreds are predominantly used because of their athleticism.
I know safety is important.
Absolutely.
Tell me what type of safety equipment is required.
A definite requirement would be the helmets, and we also have body protectors that protect us in a case of a fall during our jumping, and gloves and shoes, good solid shoes that protect our feet if the horse would step on us when we are on the ground. And then we also have some safety equipment for the horses.
And long pants?
Long pants keep your legs from getting pinched. The high boots keep your legs from getting pinched with the stirrups on the leathers.
Now, if I wanted to find a trainer, how would I do that?
The United States Eventing Association has a list of qualified and certified trainers in all areas of the nation.
Is it possible to train horses yourself?
Absolutely. The safety concerns are probably what's most important with training yourself.
All right.
You need to make sure that you don't ride alone, because then if you did have an accident, nobody would know where you were or how to find you or to get you help.
Okay.
And making sure that you don't build jumps that might entrap or endanger a horse.
Okay. Are there qualifications that trainers, a program they have to go through to be certified or anything?
There is no requirements in the United States for trainers. However, the United States Eventing Association has started a program called the Instructor Certification Program, which I am a member of, and we hope that it will become the standard in the industry.
All right. How many students do you train right now, Michelle?
That's also varied. I average 6 to 10 students.
And then do you go with them to the shows?
Absolutely.
All right, so you're there for safety and to give them instructions?
Yes.
And do you usually train like a horse for an hour at a time, or how long?
Some horses can tolerate an hour, but that might be a little long for most younger-minded horses. As the horses get older, they can focus longer. Kind of like a student in school. You go short days when you're little bitty, and the older you get, the more training you can take.
Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that information.
You're welcome.
Sounds like a fascinating job.
It is.